In scenario 15, we'll discuss how ArcSight is immersed in the MITRE ATT&CK framework, not just as a supported capability, but as an integral part of its DNA. The examples and proof points in this demo aim to show how fully embedded MITRE is within the ArcSight methodology. First, our own version of the Attack Navigator, particularly useful for SOC managers and CISOs. Then we'll show you the visualizations we provide for each SOC persona, even for the one-man army sim jockey. Let's start. This is the Attack Navigator, a dynamic page representing all the components of ArcSight and how they map to the attack framework. Dark colors mean that the technique is already covered by ArcSight, whereas a light color means we have not yet developed content for it. This vertical bar means that this technique is covered by detection logic found today in ArcSight's out-of-the-box default content. ArcSight real-time correlation is indicated with a blue bar next to it. ArcSight intelligence is instead shown with the yellow bar, whilst our search and hunt platform the orange. This way we can readily understand which technique is covered by which component within what we call our layered analytics solution. We're taking the analysts on a journey here, placing all the possible links at their fingertips. They can get more information by clicking the technique or other links, all without leaving the Navigator window. Each technique has multiple lines corresponding to different types of content. For example, this ESM default content, which we'll cover later in scenario 19. Here come the visualizations. First, for the SOC manager. She is vested in finding out where gaps appear in the current detection logic, which this page helps her to identify. If we don't have coverage, this will be clearly flagged by color. Next is the attack activity dashboard, which is very well suited for the SOC analyst. For this scenario, let's imagine that I'm a newly hired analyst with limited or even no ArcSight experience. I'm curious, and that's why I got the job, or so I've been told. This is a real-time view focusing on a rolling time window of the last 48 hours. It provides a precise indication of the techniques and their parent tactics active right now within our environment. It's like the battlefield. Well, let's see which indicators I'm equipped to investigate. Ransomware through suspicious address. Our threat intel analyst is better suited to this one. Password spraying in the cloud. I'll leave it to our L2. Okay, as a PowerShell expert, I'll take this one. Clicking on the condition summary is optional, but it does reveal ArcSight's underlying filtering language. It looks straightforward, but I don't need to know about it right now. I was able to slice and dice from thousands of events into these 17 relevant events just based on my MITRE ATT&CK basic training and nothing else. Going through the list, the longest encoded command catches my attention, and sure enough, we have a hidden PowerShell command with a really long encoded command. Confirm true positive. Now, let's see how ArcSight helps our hunt teams and data science friends. They too can learn basic MITRE ATT&CK principles and be productive with ArcSight. Scenario 1 has more details on this topic. Let's start. Here we have 3 different tactics, all associated with our infamous user Joshua Newman, who has been up to no good. All his activities are tagged with relevant attack tactic IDs, which makes it easy to follow the chain of events that ultimately led the analytics engine to arrive at the decision it did. Attack is in the entire life cycle of an ArcSight incident, and our SOAR response solution is no exception. Taking the same incident we saw in Demo 10, let's recap briefly. Incidents have their attack tags displayed on the top right, as assigned by our analytics engine. This one has a sub-technique as well. Great. Clicking on it gives me more information, and from there I can also pivot to the MITRE or the CAPEC websites to learn more about these particular techniques. Now, let's talk about the ROI from day one question, as this is what matters to our customers. So we want to help answer the question, am I covered against this latest threat out of the box from day one? We can answer this question if we know what matters most to us. Prioritization is the key to having the best chance to win in today's cyber warfare. As a CISO, I need to pick my battles, and this tool allows me to do just that by defining my requirements and comparing against ArcSight's out-of-the-box coverage, available for download as a JSON file exported from the Navigator page we saw earlier. We have the usual suspects that target my industry the most. I need countermeasures against these: APT41, Carbonac, Cobalt Group, Cobalt Strike. I heard v4.5 was leaked 10 days after its release. I'm definitely interested in that too. Finally, I picked some cloud data sources used by my mobile workforce. I paint them red and give them a score of 1. I then load ArcSight's coverage from the JSON file and hit compare. And boom, from the 47 techniques I was interested in, 41 is flagged as covered, while just 6 left uncovered from day 1. At 87% coverage, it's not perfect, but a great start, and more importantly, tells me precisely in which tactics and techniques I need to invest my valuable time and resources. In order to validate the real-world efficacy of our detection analytics, we submitted ArcSight to the Attack Evaluations Round 3 contest by MITRE Ingenuity, about as real a simulation as it gets. ArcSight were the only true SIM vendor to participate in this evaluation without EDR technology. A red team spent 2 days attacking a fictitious bank and a hotel using more than 60 techniques, which we defended along with 29 other participants. The event also proved to be a terrific purple teaming activity for our content R&D team, who then updated our default content with over 200 additional rules that were written specifically for the exercise. The real winners, of course, are our customers. Finally, MITRE ATT&CK is not the only framework we support, as our dynamic solution allows for OWASP and other security frameworks without creating additional overhead through a simple ArcSight technique called rule linking, similar in concept to file shortcuts in Windows. We create a single instance of the rule under default content without the need to duplicate and manage the same rule under multiple frameworks. Then we simply link it to another use case which has subfolders representing the new framework to be supported. As a direct result, multiple frameworks can be supported simultaneously. We published this guide to support our customers' SOC content teams who asked us how to leverage our out-of-the-box dashboards within their own content, a clear indicator that our dashboards are being used in the real world. Thank you. That ends demo 15.